this long. I think we've had a long day today, but I would personally watch that. I think it was a very interesting, most interesting sessions. Some of the quality of the projects were outstanding. Like some of you, have been to many such events before, and you usually find maybe 10 or 15 or 20% of the projects worth looking at, but I think the percentage was way higher here. I would rate it as close as 80% of the projects had some good value, and probably a lot more if you were to look at it from other stakeholders related to that sector. I just wanted to say a few words because I think the important thing here is that most of you who have come here representing your projects, I understand that these are your passions that you have actually brought here. There's a reason why you're here today, because you really believe in the idea of what you're doing. I think it's important for you to also understand that you must follow your passion through, because I always like to quote the story of how Thomas Edison made a bulb, but he failed about 700 times. And every time he learned how not to make a light bulb. And you need to find ways, and these experiences help you to refine your business model, refine your project, refine your idea. I personally come from Indonesia, and I have seen a lot of projects in that country, and many of the themes are very similar to what's happening in India here. And it's because both countries have a kind of a similar cultural background, and they're both developing countries having similar problems being solved. And the projects and ideas that work and startups that actually work are really the ones that solve a problem that you see. And I can see that most of you have found and identified a good problem that you would like to be in the middle of and try to find a solution that adds value. So I'd like to congratulate all of you for the fantastic projects that you have conveyed here today. And I think the process has well started. Like Nalin had said earlier, that this is just the beginning. Today when you pitch, you start a process of how in the next 30, 60, 90, 180 days, you go towards getting closer to how you can make your idea a reality. Hopefully you won't have to wait that long, but the idea is that the process has started. And I think wishing all of you that whole process, that journey, which is should be ending in a success as well as a lot of learning, a lot of sharing. And I could see that the sharing was quite high today, because many of you were responding were from other projects as well. And I thought I could see some of you wanting to apply some of the learning into your own projects and your business model. But that exactly is the experience that you go through. So without going into this much further, but I would like to really wish you all the best. I know a series of investors also came in. Some are still here, some are coming in and going out. I'd really encourage all the investors in the room here to engage with the India Fund Festival team and get to know a little bit more, because you know in 5 minutes or 7 minutes, which people have been pitching, sometimes the crux of the matter may have been missing. And I think that's well captured in the funding readiness report. Funding readiness report is, I was quite impressed personally. I'm actually talking to them to see how I can take this to Indonesia, because I have not seen such a thorough process yet in this field of identifying startups and identifying interesting projects. So I was very impressed with the way the funding readiness report has been put together, the standardization that's been done there. I'm very keen to take this whole thing to Indonesia. I'm actually in fact talking to them to say, can we do this in August in Indonesia, because I see a big potential for a process like this to really add value to the opportunities that can be given to startups.